This dialogue imagines a meeting between Fyodor Dostoevsky and Franz Kafka, two writers who explored the human condition in different ways. Dostoevsky emphasizes moral responsibility, conscience, and redemption, while Kafka portrays the individual as vulnerable within complex and often incomprehensible systems. Their conversation reflects a central question of modern life: whether human beings truly control their choices or struggle within forces beyond their understanding.
Is man responsible for his life, or is he a victim of the world?
Responsibility is not a condition granted by society. It is the foundation of human existence. Even when circumstances limit action, they do not eliminate moral awareness. A person may be imprisoned by poverty, injustice, or history, yet the inner freedom to choose between good and evil remains. Without this inner freedom, suffering becomes meaningless and human dignity collapses. Responsibility is not proof that the world is fair. It is proof that the human soul is real.
You assume the individual has access to this inner clarity, but modern existence is defined precisely by the erosion of certainty. The individual stands before systems whose logic cannot be grasped. Judgment appears without explanation, authority without face, law without transparency. In such a world, responsibility risks becoming anxiety rather than moral freedom. The individual does not deny responsibility. He no longer knows where it begins.
If responsibility depends on understanding the world completely, it would never exist. Human life has always been uncertain. What gives responsibility meaning is not knowledge of systems, but the encounter with conscience. Individual may not understand the world. He understands suffering, compassion, guilt, and forgiveness. These experiences do not belong to institutions, they belong to the human condition itself.
The modern individual experiences a division between inner life and external reality. Conscience may exist, but it no longer guarantees orientation. A person may feel guilty without committing a crime, innocent without being believed. Distance between the individual and the structures that judge him creates a permanent instability. Responsibility remains, it floats without ground.
Perhaps responsibility without certainty is the true condition of freedom. The absence of guarantees does not destroy moral life, it makes it necessary. If the world were transparent, responsibility would be mechanical. It is precisely because existence is unclear that the individual must decide who he becomes. Responsibility is not grounded in control over the world, but in fidelity to one's own humanity.
And perhaps the modern human tragedy lies in the tension you describe. Responsibility survives, but certainty does not. The individual continues to seek meaning while moving through structures he cannot interpret. He remains morally awake, but existentially disoriented. The human being is therefore both responsible and vulnerable, neither fully free nor entirely determined.
If responsibility becomes a continuous effort rather than a final resolution, then human life resembles a moral journey rather than a solved problem. This does not weaken responsibility, it deepens it. The individual does not become moral once and forever. It becomes moral through repetition, struggle, and renewal. The absence of closure is not only a modern condition, it is part of the human condition itself.
But modern experience intensifies this condition. The journey you describe once had direction. Religion, tradition, and shared meaning offered orientation. Today, the individual walks without a map, still moves forward, he does not know toward what. Responsibility remains, but it becomes existential rather than moral. Responsibility simply to continue existing in an unintelligible world.
Even without a map, the human being carries memory. Moral traditions may weaken, but they do not disappear entirely. Compassion, sacrifice, and forgiveness continue to appear in ordinary life. These small acts resist the idea that existence is only absurd. Responsibility survives not only in philosophy or religion, but in everyday human encounters.
Perhaps responsibility persists precisely because absurdity cannot fully erase it. The individual may doubt meaning, yet he continues to act as if meaning matters. This contradiction defines modern existence. The human being lives between two realities, the desire for moral coherence and the experience of existential uncertainty. Neither can eliminate the other.
Then the human condition is neither tragedy nor redemption alone, but the tension between them. Responsibility is not the denial of vulnerability, and vulnerability is not the end of responsibility. The individual stands between freedom and limitation, between faith and doubt. To live is to remain within this tension without losing one's humanity.
Yes, and perhaps the deepest truth is that this tension cannot be resolved. The individual does not escape the world, nor does the world fully define the individual. Responsibility and helplessness coexist. Human being continues forward, aware of both.
So we return to the initial question. If responsibility has no end, if man remains in constant struggle between certainty and doubt, then where is redemption? Is ethics possible without the promise of liberation?
Redemption? I don't understand this word. What I see are human beings who continue walking without knowing where they are going. Perhaps redemption is this: continuing, not arriving.
But continuing toward where? If there is no destination, what meaning does the movement have? I cannot live without purpose. Man needs meaning, even if he creates it himself.
And it is this very need for meaning that is dangerous, because when you create meaning yourself, you are tempted to impose it on others. I don't need meaning. I need truth, even if it is bitter.
Truth without meaning? For me, this is impossible. If truth leads nowhere, if it does not comfort, if it does not save, what use is it? Truth must be life-giving.
You want comfort, I understand. Everyone does. But I cannot lie just because the truth is bitter. If life is absurd, saying so is better than hiding it behind beautiful walls of meaning.
So with this, instead of responsibility, what do you arrive at? Despair. And a despairing man can neither save himself nor others. Responsibility without hope is a rope around a dead man's neck.
And hope without truth is a medicine that doesn't cure the illness, only hides the pain. I prefer a sick man who knows he is sick to a healthy man who imagines he is well.
So here we stand. You have chosen truth without hope. I have chosen hope without definitive truth. We both walk in darkness, but you don't even believe in light.
Light? Perhaps the light is the walking itself in darkness. Perhaps the truth is that no one reaches the destination, but everyone must walk. And this is the only real responsibility, to walk without knowing where.
Then we walk, but on this path, I take the hand of the one beside me. On this path, I pray for light. On this path, I believe in the other side of darkness. I walk with the other.
Alone? No. I too walk with the other, but I do not lie to him. I do not tell him the light is near. I tell him it is dark, it is cold. The road is long, but we are together, and this is enough.
Enough? For you perhaps, but I want more than this. I want to tell him that this suffering has an end. I want to give him hope, even if I myself don't know where that hope comes from.
You need hope to be responsible. I am responsible because there is no other choice. You take refuge in meaning out of fear of absurdity. I accept absurdity and remain human nonetheless.
So this dialogue does not end, because you do not convince me, nor I you. Perhaps this very disagreement is itself a truth, that man can arrive from two completely different paths at the same thing, living in responsibility.
And perhaps this is the only thing we can tell future generations. We did not know, we did not abandon. We were lost, but we were not afraid of being lost. We were human, with all its contradictions.
Then farewell, Franz. On the path you walk, may light be with you, even if you don't believe in it.
Farewell, Fyodor. The path you walk, may truth be with you.